Hey guys, welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. And this is a topic I spoke about before, but I really want to talk about it again because I think it's so important. With me is Jessica Moore and Diane Dean from National Cremation Society.
Yes.
Okay, I had to get that out in the beginning before I screw it up, so I don't want to mess it up. But what you guys do is so important, and yet so few people know about it. And some might have heard about it, but have no clue what it is and what it does. So today what we're going to talk about actually is pre-need. Pre-need gives you the ability to take the pressure off of you when a loved one passes away. In simplest form, that's what it is. Okay? So my question, we'll start with you, Jessica, is why'd you get into this?
You know, back in 2011, my grandmother, that was more like my mom, passed away of lung cancer. And she had no arrangements. And I was responsible for taking care of everything, and I had no clue what I was doing. I maxed out all my credit cards. I feel like I got taken advantage of financially, and it was a nightmare. And then I said to myself, never, ever again do I want to be put in that position, and nor do I want to put my children in that position.
Wow. It's so true. Why'd you get into it?
Very similar situation. My situation was my father-in-law passed away in 2001 unexpectedly. And we all walked in there. He was 66 years old. He was the owner of our company. He was a strong man. And after we realized what had happened and I picked him up, we looked at each other and said, what does he want? And nobody knew. Nobody had the conversation. We then went through the whole process and paid at that time almost $10,000. And it was because at need, you find yourself making decisions that are based more on what we think he might want instead of what he really wanted.
But over and above that, you're making decisions without a clear head. Okay, so, and you're right, but irrelevant of what he wanted, it's what do you need to do, okay, to finalize the situation, and you're trying to figure it out when you got a million other things in your mind and you're dealing with a loss.
It's shock and confusion.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a state of shock and confusion, then you're trying to make decisions.
And what's interesting is the reason that I know about it is because my mom and dad have it. My dad has passed, and when he passed, and we were just talking about this in the green room, it was, I don't want to say it was a breeze, but they came, they picked him up, they did everything, didn't even have to talk to us because it was all prepared in the beginning. So let me ask you this. I decide I want to get pre-need for me. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I call you up, you come to me, or I go to your office, whatever. Mm-hmm. What are we going to discuss?
Well, what we're going to discuss is our program and how comprehensive and how the reputation of our company and why we want a pre-need. And we also talk about how this is the most precious gift of peace of mind that we can give to our family. That by prearranging, people think it might be for them. It's really for our loved ones. It's for their time of need. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to discuss. And we're going to take them through the program and how our company offers so many things that only we do and why we are the most reputable and comprehensive program available.
So really, it's me saying, hey, here's my budget. Okay. You're going to walk me through my budget, I guess, with what I can do and what it takes to complete what I'm going to do. And pre-need is not something that is $100 and I come and I give you $100. Pre-need can be paid off, right? It's financeable.
It's financeable. You pay it off before you're passing. You're not leaving that financial burden to your loved ones, and everything's done. We have an all-inclusive plan from A to Z. Your loved ones just simply have to be in communication, and that's it. We take care of everything else.
Okay, so I come to you. We go over your plan, and I guess your plans can include cremation,
yes,
burial.
We have a basic all-inclusive plan for direct cremation.
Okay.
We're the largest #1 direct cremation company in the world. We provide a worldwide travel protection and relocation, and we are the only company that offers that.
So if I was blessed and had time to go to Paris and I pass, you'll fly me back?
Your family does not have to pay the hundreds or thousands of dollars trying to get your body back home.
Wow. You know, and I hate to say it this way, and I know that people will look at it this way, but it's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant what you pay, okay? To me, it's the stress that happens when someone passes. So they're in the hospital, and now you get a call if they pass. And now you're scurrying around trying to figure out what to do. Where am I going to take them? How is they going to be cremated or buried? Pre-need takes all that away from you, okay? The interesting thing is my mom and dad took it, and they financed it. When my dad passed away, it wasn't fully paid off. So they took money from my mom's, moved it over to his, added that difference back to hers, and boom, they still took care of it. And I don't know if you guys out there have ever had someone pass away, but what happens is you go to the funeral home and you have to go in and sit in an office at your saddest time.
Your saddest time.
Okay, and say, this is how I'm going to handle it. And honestly, almost everything you say is going to make no sense to anybody, especially yourself, 3 weeks later or 2 months later. Okay, so are more people doing cremations today than ever before?
So the state of Florida alone, from the National Funeral Directors Association, are choosing 76% of people, their preferred choice is cremation over burial.
Okay.
Why do you think that is?
It's less expensive.
Diane?
That's why
And costs and logistics.
Okay.
People, for example, I'm one of 6 children, and only one of us lives within 20 miles of my parents. We're in 5 different states. So my father went to a funeral in November and said he changed his mind, went to cremation. He says, I have not been back to see my father's grave since 1991.
And it's interesting because when my parents moved to Florida, they had plots up in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad said, well, I just want to be buried next to my family because no one's going to come visit me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he changed, and he sold those plots, and he got a thing here on, I think it's off of North Lake. And I made a commitment to see him, and I see him at least 3, sometimes 4 times a year. And it depends on your belief, but I believe he knows that we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? My wife passed away, and I didn't have pre-need at the time. And it was really kind of a nightmare because one is I was financially strapped, period. I had no clue what I was doing at that point. Okay? And it was a whirlwind for me. If I tell you the stress of those days were brutal for me. First of all, I found her, okay? And she was very young. So, of course, when someone very young passes away, there's the police come and there's an investigation. So I have to deal with that as well as arrangement. She had no family. So it was just me. Pre-need would have taken a lot of that away.
One phone call, and you would not have had to deal with any of those emotional decisions.
Okay, one of the things we discussed was the costs, how they have been going upwards over the years. So give me an idea of what we're looking at from the past to today.
Well, the first thing that we could talk about is the baby boomers that we have. Between 2025 and 2035, we're going to have 80 million baby boomers that are going to retire and or pass away. So the projected cost of personal cremation in the year of 2035 is going to be over $10,000 a person.
Wow. That's unthinkable.
It's becoming the preferred choice, and we have the baby boomers. The price is just going to escalate. So
has it been going up?
Yes, it has. So if you purchase today, you lock in today's prices, you don't pay those elevated prices.
Okay.
So that's an important part of pre-planning.
And keep in mind that in our industry, prices double every 6 to 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So doesn't pay to die.
No.
Exactly right.
And we're all going to die.
Yeah, nobody gets out of here alive.
It is.
You know, I'm blessed. My mom's 88. And her family has a lot of longevity. Her mom died at 96. Her mom's sister, last I knew, she was 103, and she's probably still alive 20 years later. Okay? But first of all, I'm Jewish. So in the Jewish religion, there were no cremations for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And now that's been added in. And I think cremations really becomes an answer to many problems: space, cost. And you said something interesting. You're one of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a parent passes away. Now you have these ashes. What do you do with them if you don't want to put them in something or, somewhere? You can actually, divide the ashes up.
Yes.
When my wife passed away, her dream, if she passed away, was she loved animals. Was to spread her ashes at the zoo. The zoo wouldn't let me do it. Bush Wildlife, which is up here, allowed me to do it. But I didn't want to get rid of her totally. So I bought a little vial and I put some of her ashes in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would always have them.
Mm-hmm.
If we get off of the subject of humans, pet cremation is through the roof.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a whole thing of 3 cats and a dog that has passed away in my years that have been cremated.
Mm-hmm.
So cremation really holds a great place. And I'm like I said at the beginning, I guess cremation is outweighing burials.
Absolutely. Yes.
And here's the other thing too. You referenced something really important there. When you're speaking of animals, I moved here from Pennsylvania. I have 3 dogs that I've brought with me. And I think of how thankful I am I chose cremation for my animals so that I am able to bring with me. Sounds a little crazy, but it's really actually true. That's really, really important. And the other point that to kind of touch on what you said with so many children, what pre-planning also does, it allows children to remain friends.
Yes.
Through the process, because when we choose what wants to be done, I've spoken to so many families where they'll say, I still don't speak to my brother over my mom's arrangements. Either they didn't pay their share or they disagreed. This allows that peace of mind. It brings in the legacy of remaining friends after you pass. And that's something parents give to their children also.
And that comes from a family of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Families.
From a family of 1, it's like, all right, where do I come up with the $10,000 I didn't expect to spend?
Exactly.
Or the $6,000. At least you guys come down to 1,000 apiece. That's bad. That's the 6,000 that one person has left. Let me ask you this. Plus, it's not as emotional when they come to you.
Right.
Okay? It's kind of clear-headed. So who goes to you? Does the kids go to you, or does the parent who's going to buy the program go to you?
Both.
Okay. So,
it depends. It depends upon the dynamics of the family situation. I get a phone call and Jess gets the same thing where children of someone we just serviced will call us and say, you just took care of my father and you did such a great job. I want to provide the same thing for my children. So and off that it's funny how that is probably one of the strongest marketing tools for us is just the experience of how our company handles families and the actual arrangements, because we have such a great staff. So sometimes the children will come to us and say, our parents are older. We would like to get this in place for them, and they can actually purchase for their parents.
Uh-huh.
Or sometimes the parents will come to us and say, I need to get this in place. Their children don't want to talk about it, because we as children don't want to think about that.
And that's so true. And I didn't think about that, because if I say, when my daughter says, I don't want to hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to talk about it, and her mom has been very sick. She not love us all, but she's had, 3 strokes,
mm-hmm.
3 heart attacks, 2 kidney transplants.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to think about it. Okay? And it's easy to think about when you're thinking about it with a clear head than when you're not.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, and we don't have to talk about numbers, but how affordable is it for the middle class America in payment plans?
Well, unfortunately, some of our senior citizens live on Social Security, which is not a lot of income.
Right.
So we make it affordable for everybody. We have easy financing. You do not have to drop a one lump sum. You can have low monthly payments, as low as $50 a month.
Okay, which leads me into, so let's say, and I'm just picking numbers out of my head, guys, I have no clue. Let's say your plan is $2,000, okay? And I pass and I've only paid $1,000. They have to pay the lump sum of the $1,000 to complete the package?
They do. What we do ask is we do say that upon time that they pass, the balance does need to be paid.
Okay.
we are a compassionate company. We're going to work with every family.
Okay.
If it doesn't work for them to pay at that time, we're still going to take care of their family member, and we will make arrangements with the family. One of the first things we do upon someone's passing is we contact the family. We contact Social Security for them. We arrange the death certificate. We do all the important documentation and things that people don't want to have to worry about at the time their loved one passes.
Right.
And we take care of that. But the other most important thing we do is we communicate with the family. We are talking to whomever they have listed there, as whether it's a child or a friend, or, some people don't have any children or family members. So it's whomever they list. We work with them. And then, so people don't have to worry about that. They can have the security that we will work with whomever they have listed.
Okay, we're getting to the top of our time. How do people find you guys? You have a website?
Lots of ways.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shoot
We
some.
do marketing. We do send out mailers to a lot of people where we offer some lunch seminars where people can come.
Yeah, but how would I find out? You have a website that would be
We
on?
have a website.
Which
it can
is?
direct them. Well, there's a number of them because there's Neptune Society and National Cremation, but it's www.nationalcremation.com.
Okay. Guys, I talk about a lot of things. We have tons of people that come through here. Something as simple as the guy that owns the bagel store, which is my second favorite thing to talk about. Okay, because they always bring food. But these are things you need to know. And this is serious. And I know you don't want to think about it, but when that time comes, and it will, because none of us get out of here alive, you'll be blessed if you have such a plan with pre-need. With that, I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
It's a blessing to be able to help people, okay? And we're in a crazy time now as it is. But with that, check them out. Look up pre-need. Look up National Cremation Society. If you can always reach me if you need Jessica or Diane's information. And we'll go from there. Everybody have a great day, and we'll be right back.